I am here with my buddy, who I've now known for a couple years, right?
Yeah,
Wes, it's been a
yeah.
couple years now.
I wanna say almost 2,
Yeah,
going on
2. Our first work together was I would call it systemization stuff. Is that the way that
Yeah, I mean,
like
met
getting
and then you were helping me with doing some consulting work for us on just, like, biz process, sales systems. I say
yeah,
it was more like workflows in many
yeah.
ways.
But it
Yeah.
was, I think, organized around the idea of trying to blend your team with a global team because we had to do that in
Yes.
order because we just weren't
Yeah,
there yet, right?
right. It
I think
was
that's why, like, I kinda jumped into that was because it was like, that was what it was gonna take to get you to the next level. So
right.
you own or you're one of the co-owners, I should say.
Correct.
Just, like, give me, like, I don't even know. I mean, I
I
kinda
have
know.
2 business partners, John and Dan. We currently own 3 Fast Signs franchises, 1 in Everett, Washington, Seattle, 1 in Lancaster, PA. Pronounced Lancaster, not Lancaster for everybody out there, which isn't all Amish and horse crap, but there's a lot of that too. Uh,
Says you.
Says me, but it's a great place to live. And then another one here close in New York, and then we're getting ready to expand to hopefully 2 more locations, 1 in the southeast part of the country and hopefully 1 in Texas.
And the one in the Southeast was when you joined our meeting last week from the balcony because you were visiting it, if I recall
Yes.
correct.
Yeah, that one's an acquisition. Texas will be a greenfield site, a new location.
And what is roughly, just within Fast Signs, your headcount?
I think with global talent, we're close to 180. And I think about 17 now, we just, I think, are hiring 3 more. So around 17 are global talent.
Oh, really? That's great. That's
Yeah.
so cool. And when we first worked together, it was 0 was it z no.
0.
Was it 0? It was 0?
I
Remember
think
those
we have hired
other
one shortly after.
okay.
Everett was working with someone and
Oh,
they
that's
had
what it is. It was Everett.
people. Yeah.
That's pretty dope though, to go from
It is
7. That's pretty cool.
in 2 years. Yeah. And it's like, I wish I could have started my business with global talent, like first principle sort of thing.
Well,
But
I
we're a
think
record.
and I don't know if you talk about if this is public or not. Within the Fast Signs network, how would you say you're doing comparatively? I don't know if you talk specifically or generally about that.
Last year, we had the largest store and the third largest.
Got it. Okay. I didn't know if you could say that or not. I knew
And
that.
then like the 20th. Most likely this year it'll be 1 and 2.
Okay, cool. That's it. That's awesome. And so what I think's interesting is you're also moving into a new franchise network, which you can talk
Correct.
about if you want.
Yes.
But I'm interested in just talking about how you're thinking about um personnel from, as you said, because I think I've already talked to you about this new franchise network that you're going
Mm.
into, like
Right.
some of the first principles of like, well, I'm going to look at it knowing that I now know how to use global talent. I'm thinking about growing my business fundamentally differently than maybe I did when I launched Fast Signs a couple of years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we kind of learn, well, back up a little bit. The way I've started structuring the way I think about a business is like a computer program, and every line of code is a task. And can that task be done remotely or does it physically have to be done in my center or in my location? And so with Fast Signs, we're going back through and doing that bit by
Yeah.
bit. This, I think that'll be the flow chart.
Yep.
What is it? Can it be done remote? If so, it goes global. If
Yep.
it has to be done physically, then it's the local team member. So I think we'll just kind of create a test like that, kind of a flow chart that's how we decide what goes overseas.
I think it's cool too in that what I also think's cool about it is that you're not running an SEO company or a PPC agency. You're running a B2B sign manufacturing company.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
vertically, it's not something that naturally is like, of course you can get a developer in India. I mean,
Right.
we're talking about supporting, it's like Josh Schultz, who I talked to, they do foundries. And he's like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah, key part of my strategy is global talent for
Yeah.
foundries. And
They
you're another great
yeah.
example of where
Non-ferrous. Non-ferrous.
non-ferrous,
Yeah,
those ferrous
very
guys,
important.
I
Yeah,
don't trust them. He's like, "Why do you expect
can't
them
use a magnet around those guys.
to
It
get
doesn't
those
work.
guys out of here?" I didn't know what Ferris meant until like 2 weeks ago. But what I was gonna say was, how would you say, like, maybe some of our early conversations? Because I think what we figured out a little bit was with Passport, we are only we are only for Passport, we are only targeting people who've used Global Talent before, specifically because I had to do a bunch of very non-scalable consulting with you before you were ready. Is it possible, like, is there any way that like, what are ways you could have gotten there without us?
Well, I think it's similar. You talk about like the MSP concept. That's essentially it's consulting as
Yeah,
rather than one large fee. It's just baked into the
it's
price.
wrapped in.
It's
Yeah.
wrapped in. Right.
And
And
that's where
so,
I think as you and I have talked about global talent stuff, as you and I have talked about global talent stuff, for early buyers of global talent, a managed service is a better purchase.
yeah,
'Cause they need
less of
a
a commitment. If it
they
doesn't work after 3 months, they're out. It didn't cost them that much money.
yeah, and they don't have to quite take as big of a first bite, like, initially, like, that's a little more handholding, and they pay a little bit more, but they get a little bit more and that kind of thing, and, like, that makes sense to me.
And the global talent, like whoever is the MSP provider, understands that particular niche of the role they're trying to fill. And
Yeah,
maybe in a deeper level than just a like, I want a VA or I want a person. Right.
yeah, and now I know you've done a lot with signage designers, which are just, like, really good graphics designers, right? But they're not like, I think
Sign designers, yeah, it's not so much the quality of the graphic designers. They're not designing things that are flat. They're designing things that become dimensional and become physical objects. So it's got a little tinge of engineering to it.
got it.
Right.
And what countries I know we've done some Philippines, I think we've done some India, like, where
We've done Philippines. We've had a couple great hires there. We've had several really good hires in Latin America. I think
Argentina? Colombia?
Colombia, I think.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think it
sure
was
Colombia.
US,
Yeah, I can't remember. I want to say Colombia or Honduras. But yeah, so I mean,
kinda
awesome.
all over. Yeah,
Yeah. And
and
they've done really well. It's
you've
a little more challenging to find the sign designers.
yeah, it is.
As you guys did the recruiting for us. It took a little more work, but I think we've kind of narrowed
Yeah.
that down and figured out what works.
You'll appreciate this, which is I think about recruiting for specialty stuff, signage I would call specialty. I think of it as standing up a manufacturing line, which is the hardest is the first unit, but once I have the line stood up,
Right.
number 99 to 100 is pretty straightforward.
Right.
So it's like with some of this stuff, it's like if you just let me know you're gonna buy, hey, over the next 5 years, I'm gonna need 200, like I can build a channel. The hard
Right.
part is that it's like completely random and it's like, I need a signage, I need a comptroller, and it's like it's hard, it just takes longer because I
Yeah.
have to stand up a channel every hire and I can't just reliably like, nope, I got a pipe. We're hooked into the engineering school in Mexico,
Right. Well,
you
that's
know.
Josh mentioned that yesterday or in the one school chat
Yeah.
about, find a university that's great in whatever field you're looking for and then kind of tap into that or look where really large companies like Honeywell or whoever
Yeah.
are finding engineers and then go there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think that's,
Which we
yeah.
do that. Yeah, we do that. It's just hard to do that for one-offs.
Right.
But if you're like, "Oh, I know I'm gonna need this
We
at,
can do,
12 a year," it's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, man, I'll put a recruiter in the city where Honeywell is." Like, that's not that big of a deal just to target that
and you
student.
understand the nuance of that role and the nuance of that person.
Correct,
Well,
correct,
I
correct.
think that's what's amazing to me about the global talent. I think you said it, but we're at like the first pitch of the first inning,
Yeah,
right? And it's true because we're talking about designers for sign companies, which think about like what a narrow sliver of the population and working population that is. And then you just multiply that across every single type of role. It's unbelievable.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, and it's such a huge source of operating leverage where
Right.
you can buy a sign shop that's, say, struggling with profitability,
Right.
and you can say, "Look, I know how to keep these people in business and increase their business because I've got this lever that I can pull on, which is,
Right.
oh, we don't need to have your graphic design. Oh, we can't keep them busy. So we're gonna split them across 3 different locations and you'll have one, like you have so much operating leverage, you know?
Well, and the way I've been thinking a lot about global talent, it's not so much So, I mean, sure, I can maybe it can drive more revenue to the bottom line, but the number one issue for at least when I talk to other fast science franchisees and probably every small business owner in the US is people. They
Oh,
just
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
What's your biggest challenge? Oh, I can't find anybody good. Oh, and I've been challenging the man. I'm like, no, 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 that's not your problem. Your problem is you don't pay enough.
Yeah.
You can find
Yeah,
someone
you
good if
pay
you
them
paid enough,
3 times as much. Yeah, exactly.
or even 25% more, right?
Yeah,
So global talent is the way you do that.
yeah.
Because if I've allocated 30% of my budget to payroll
Yep,
and I could save 50% on half of that, that means I can give the other side, the American-based people, a 50% raise.
correct. That's exactly
And
right.
and I still can drive the margin I want to the bottom
And you
line.
don't have to raise your prices.
I don't have to raise my prices.
Yeah,
I get better customer service, better work performance, happier
yeah.
team members, and I probably am not gonna be as stressed out because I got good people working there instead of people I'm paying 15 bucks an hour to, which just
I think that for me too, it's like people get attracted by cost savings, but you and I both like, and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget, like, talk just briefly about Rosalba.
oh,
Like,
Rosalba. Yeah, she's phenomenal.
just like as like, I'm not saying every person we're ever gonna get is Rosalba, but just talk about like Rosalba, just
So
like, as an example of
as
what's
an
out.
example, so we have one of the roles in our business is project management, right? And so for us, once a job is cost approved by the client, the salesperson hands it off. And from there on out, it's run by a project manager through design and manufacturing and install and all that. So it's a really important role. But we've been building that team and we reached out and hired a couple project managers globally. Found Rosalba, she's in Mexico. Rosalba's a phenomenal person, kind, hardworking, dedicated, loyal. She has a master's degree in architecture. She's got great work experience. She's worked as in project management, knows more than, a lot of people do. And she initially was pretty cheap. We gave her a pretty big raise, but it's still like a third of what I would pay for someone of her pedigree in the US. I mean, she would be, if she was US based, I don't know, 150 grand a year, probably.
Yeah,
And she's making what I hope is great money for her. We
yeah,
love
she
her
is.
to death. Yeah. And
Yeah,
within, honestly, she was leading trainings for our whole project management team within like 2 weeks of being employed. Like she was training them on
sharp.
was architectural drawings or whatever, but something that she was good at. And the team loves her, and
And she's not outsourced. She's not
Mm.
a
on
VA.
that
She's
team.
just Rosalba who
She's
happens to be a
Rosalba. Yeah,
Mexico.
we want to fly her up. She's got her visa. Like, come on up. The team told me the other day she sent her recipe and they made her mom's favorite recipe or whatever, and they had lunch with
That's
Rosalba.
exactly right. But
Yeah, it's
that's my whole
awesome.
thing when people are like, "We wanna outsource our." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. No. Just hire people from other countries. That's it." Right?
And yeah, you'll you'll build relationships. You'll
Yeah,
learn about other cultures. Who knows what doors it will open, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
So she's, like, always in my mind of, like, because just like with Americans, look, there's entry level people, there's experienced people, and so it's just like, it's such a you can't put global talent in a box because it's 8.5 billion people.
Wow.
So yeah, Rosalba's a hoss. She's incredible. I've talked to her a lot. She
Have
seems
you?
great. So it's like, so then what you're you are obviously I'm of this belief, but this is like, two people, true believers. But for me,
Drank the
it's
Kool-Aid.
like when I look at my next 25 years in business, one of the tools that I am going to use over and over in any business I touch to give me an advantage is global talent. And I will
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
look at like it's just like the internet to me. It's like, why would I not use email? It's a part of my toolkit now. And so it seems like some of the stuff you're doing, I know you're doing some investing and you're
Mm.
like, I know that because you developed this, you kind of like went through the process. You're like, oh, I get it now. Like it's not perfect, duh, but it's
No.
also this huge freaking game changer. Right.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, oh, if I could just use it more.
Yeah.
Like, I,
Well,
you know,
it's what pushed me into specific types of businesses where I specifically, as my strategy, could use global talent better. Right?
I mean,
Because I was like, you can only use so much in a B2B sign shop. It's like
we have
or
to
a power
manufacture the
wash.
stuff here. Yeah.
you know?
But honestly, to your point about the competitive advantage, I mean, if you're like, say you want to do a roll up in something that's
Correct.
traditionally very like physically location based, if you can pull in global talent and take off 50% of the work and just have
Correct. Have them drive
production
revenue.
or the service or whatever happen there, competitive advantage is massive.
It's huge.
Massive.
And the thing that people miss too is, and I've said this over and over, and people get it, and then really smart people, and I didn't develop this. This I like stole this from Adam Smith from like Wealth of Nations
Okay.
from 1787 or whatever, which is the big thing
Portugal.
that allows you to do is, let's say you're like, John, I don't care about global talent. What I need is HVAC techs. And you're like, stop paying your marketing person 60 G's a year,
Yes.
take half of what you save and give
Uh-huh.
20% above market for HVAC techs. Don't raise your prices and
Right.
feed all of your competitors
You'll have
techs.
all the HVAC techs you've
And
never.
magically, you're not HVAC tech constrained anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Exactly.
if you build a better operating model because of your usage of global talent, just take half of the savings.
Yeah.
Don't answer your phones in California.
Right.
Just don't do it.
Like choose your constraint.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly. And if you're really plumber constrained or mechanic constrained
Right.
or sales rep constrained,
Right.
awesome. Take half of the garbage operating model stuff, clean
Right.
that up, integrate
Right.
global talent
Right.
intelligently,
Right.
and now pour it into the hard constraint. Magically, it's just like, how are these guys paying? They're paying what for their
Yeah.
apprentices?
Well, and like for your salespeople, that example, like, okay, you still need a local salesperson, but if you can help them triple their output because you build a support team around them, wow. And
That's the one that I really like. Well,
mhm,
because there's really like a couple different ways to do global talent. Another model that I know you've ascribed to as I do as well, which is like, if you look at how much of a salesperson's time they spend doing the hard stuff, in most companies, it's like 10%.
yeah,
And so it's like, what if I took CRM, LinkedIn stuff, proposal creation, whatever these other things are,
right,
and you just got to be a great white shark. And all you do is you attack shit. How many more appointments could you how much
right,
more aggressively could you work your pipeline instead of, oh, you have to do all this stuff. You have to generate your own leads. You have to do your own LinkedIn. You have to do
right,
your own CRM. Send a voice note to somebody
right.
in Argentina and they'll keep everything organized and off you go. Now I want you to run 4 appointments a day.
Well,
And they
that's
because they make more in commissions.
well, yeah, because again, if you're a commission based salesperson and you can triple the amount you sell, easy.
Yeah. And for
Um,
you, you're like, I just took someone, it's the Gordon Ramsay thing. I took a chef who was making 10 dishes a night, who's really hard to get, Gordon Ramsay, and I just gave him a prep cook and a dishwasher, and now he can push 50 dishes a day out.
right,
But all I didn't have to find 2 more Gordon Ramsays. I had to find a dishwasher and a guy who can slice vegetables.
right.
Way easier.
I mean, it's
Way
similar to like there's a book called The Machine where
Yeah.
he
Yeah, we
basically
talked
applies the theory of constraints to the sales org. And, when we first read that, it was like doing that with our own team members, right? A US based. But I think when you overlay global talent, it becomes like, oh, wow, you can do even more, right? You can, customer service is important, then overstaff on customer service. It's
Oh, yeah.
not going to hurt you
Correct. It's why
financially.
I like flooding companies with global talent, which is like, how would you like to have a concierge team? Who's ever heard of a B2B signage company having concierges?
Yeah, right.
But but you could yeah, we just have 5 people. Their only job is to just be gentle around the edges and make life easy, surprise them, send them a pizza on the day of the sign install.
Right.
Because I mean, just like little and you're like, "What is that?" You could never do that if they were based in Lancaster or however you say it. Or but you can do it if they're global.
Whatever, Tom
Did I
Selleck.
say that? I feel like I
Yeah.
said that right. I feel like I
No.
nailed it.
Lynn Kister, Lin. Never mind. I
Well,
give
that's
up.
exciting, man. I mean,
Yeah.
so any like for other people, I would call it, I would describe you best probably as like a successful multi-unit franchisee. That's probably
Yeah.
what
That makes
is the
sense.
best description of you.
Sure.
For anybody else, because I was talking to like Ben, the guy who runs all the what are they called? Zaxby's.
QSRs? Yeah.
Yeah. You talk about pain tolerance. But any any for folks like walking down the journey, was there anything in particular that helped you like books or newsletters or ways of thinking about it, like, as they're flirting with this strategy, given where you sit now that you would, like, push them towards?
I mean, just do it. Honestly,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
I it's not complex. I think people get way too hung up on like, "Oh, I'm hiring somebody globally." Do you hire people now? Do you train them? Well, you've got everything you need.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
like,
just, like,
especially if you hire remote people. Like, if you can do that, I guarantee you can handle global talent and you'll probably get even higher quality people. So
yeah.
it'll be simple.
So
Yeah.
it's just kinda like, get started, put some slack in the line, don't take the most critical function and don't jump into the just get start hire an assistant and just
Hire an
start getting
assistant,
into the grid.
hire a customer service person, hire someone to just do journal entries, or enter stuff in bill.com for your accounting team. Just really low hanging fruit that's simple, repeatable. Find something that you do a ton of multiple reps on
Yeah.
and stick them on that and see what
Yeah.
happens.
And
It
just
doesn't,
and then just, like, build momentum because I think
yeah,
you could build momentum really quickly, but you just gotta
absolutely.
kinda, like you gotta kinda, like, get started, right?
Yeah. I mean, one of the main things we did is we do a lot of work for Amazon. So we have to enter invoices into their system, right? And it's not automated. So we've got 4 people that's all they do is enter invoices into their system. I think we might automate that this year, but still, it's not a hard thing to do. It's easy to write an SOP for, and you say go. And it's super important because we don't get paid if we don't enter the invoice. It's kind of matters.
Kind
Matters
of
just a little
important.
bit.
That's super important. It's super interesting. Final thoughts? You need to move someplace warmer? That was what you were saying before this call.
I should move to someplace warmer. Yeah.
Other
Hopefully,
than that,
if we do this deal in Southeast Florida, then maybe that's where I'll be.
yeah,
Hey, as partners, we're kind of fighting over who gets that location.
I'll do it.
Yes.
Cool,
I
man.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, I would hit pause.
Cool, man.